Hello there. Welcome to Tubi Tuesday. I'm Scotty. You're not. We're going to talk about little Nicky. And I'm not going to talk in that voice the whole time because you'll probably get annoyed. Yeah. So little Nicky is one of those I think is kind of a mixed bag. A lot of people hate on this movie. I've heard a lot of people, Adam Sandler's annoying in this movie. The plot is too weird. And yeah, it's weird. And sometimes Adam Sandler's voice can be a little grating, but I think it works. To me, this isn't my top 10 favorite Adam Sandler movies. I still don't own this movie, which is why it's on Tubi Tuesday. Because, sort of thing. But, yeah. The story here is that Adam Sandler plays Nicky, the youngest son, I'm assuming, of the devil, played by Harvey Keitel. And the devil is about to announce who will take over the throne. When he announced it's going to be himself, he's going to reign for another 100,000 years. His two eldest sons, Cassius and Adrian, played by Tom Tiny Lister and Reese Ifans, say fuck that and decide to wreak havoc on Earth. In doing so, they go through the flames that lead people to hell, and they freeze the flames and go to Earth. So Nicky, who is somehow able to go to Earth even though the flames are frozen, they don't really explain it. They just say, oh, you're the son of the devil. You could do what you want. Chet from, Blake Nelson, the guy from Boy Meets World, the Sean Stat Boy Meets World, he's in this. Yeah, so he has to go to Earth and use this flask that will suck a soul into it and get both Adrian and Cassius, just suck them in there and take them back to hell and save their dad. Yeah, because the dad is literally falling apart. So the opening of this movie has always been weird for me. Because I remember the first time I put it on, whatever, and you start with John Lovitz in a tree listening to Ladies Night, and he's watching this mom undressed, and I'm just like, where is this going? It's a weird opening, but eventually she finds that he's in there, and the kid uses a slingshot to knock him out of the tree, and he dies, sending him to hell. And this is our introduction to the characters. We're introduced to the devil, this gatekeeper guy, played by Kevin Nealon, who, after this, is always called Tithead, for reasons we will get to. And we're introduced to our characters. Nicky is a little different. He has a conversation with the, I don't know what he is, like an advisor or something, played by Sean's dad from Boy Meets World. And he's like, I used to be normal too. That's before my brother Cassius hit me in the head with a shovel. Like, it used to be normal to get hit with a shovel, and so now he talks weird and looks weird, I guess. And so we get the announcement, and then the devil says he's going to rule for 100,000 years. Like I said, the two brothers are like, fuck this, and they decide to go to Earth and rule there. Because of that, it freezes the gateway to hell, but also starts to deteriorate the devil. We do get cameos in this. There's quite a few cameos, but here's one. Rodney Dangerfield, who has a couple cameos in this film. I don't really know why. He plays the grandfather, the devil's father, who created hell, apparently, but he's just there for one-liners. Because of the mistake, Kevin Nealon's character gets boobs put on his head, so there is Tithead. And then he has a thing with a Sasquatch, the romance, I don't know. Really weird. But the only one that can do this job is Nicky. So he sends Nicky to Earth. Now, like I said, there's a lot of cameos. You got Quentin Tarantino as this blind religious zealot just yelling, "You're evil! You're evil! That's gonna take over!" You got a very weird cameo of Dana Carvey playing a referee with white hair, and he talks like this here. And he's credited as Whitey Duvall, which is weird because Whitey Duvall is like a little person with two different feet, and I don't know, but that's what it is. And then later, the character would have his own movie in 8 Crazy Nights, which I also like. I don't know if it's in my top 10, but I also like that movie. Yeah. But, and it's clearly Dana Carvey doing the voice here, so maybe Adam Sandler took inspiration from this character and made it, I don't know. I guess we'll have Henry Winkler, covered in bees, Ozzy Osbourne, biting a head off a bat, because it's Ozzy Osbourne. Rob Schneider as the "You can do it" guy. Yeah, Mr. Beefy, talking dog from hell, who is his little helper guy. I don't know who does the voice, but he's got him a roommate, and it's Alan Covert's character. Alan Covert, who I've seen in other Adam Sandler movies, and starred in his own film, Grandma's Boy, which is not the same character, but yeah. And then he also meets two stoners, two devil-worshipping stoners, John and Peter, played by Peter Dante, and John something or other. He's been in a lot of Adam Sandler movies, just in the background. He's a guy who kind of talks like this, you know. I'm not sure what the actor's name is, but I know Peter Dante. I follow him on Instagram and stuff, so he's pretty cool. But here's Scotch tape. I got my table and it's driving me nuts. That's why I keep. Yeah, and he also meets Valerie, played by Patricia Arquette, and this is one of the cases of you take a good-looking woman and you put her in pigtails and glasses, and she's a nerd. That's what they do. Patricia Arquette is a lovely lady. At least when she was younger, maybe, but all the years of smoking, I mean, maybe not now, but back in the day, you know, she was a lovely lady. But they put her in pigtails and glasses, and suddenly she's a nerd, and she's the love interest for Nicky. And you think it doesn't really make sense if you think about it. He's there to save his dad, but then he's gonna have this excuse me, this love interest. I don't know, like I've been discovering that a lot of comedies have romantic comedy subplots, you know, like the ones I've done, like Dirty Work had one, not very good, you know. The 40-year-old version had one, that one worked. Writing Crashers in the 40-year-old version worked. Dirty Work, no, the Dirty Work one felt forced, because there wasn't even much to it. Wasn't written well at all. This one was done better, albeit had a rocky start, because like he meets her, there's some kind of connection, but then Adrian comes upon them and controls Nicky to be an asshole, and she takes off on him. And later, when he tries to apologize to her, she sprays him with mace and then punches him in the face. And he's able to float, which is a hint that he's not completely like demonic, I guess. I don't know. But eyes watering, excuse me. Yeah, so essentially the showdown with Cassius is at a Globetrotters basketball game where you have more cameos from Ellen Cleghorn from SNL and Reggie McFadden from In Living Color as this couple. And look, I'm sorry, but Ellen Cleghorn has no right to call Adam Sandler butt ugly. Butt ugly. She makes those faces. And that's supposed to be the funny part, but I don't know. But fun little cameos. But yeah, so they have a sort of a showdown, and he's able to make this slam dunk. I guess everyone wins the pizza, I guess, because that's what it was. slam dunk, shatters the freaking basketball, the backboard. He's like, how'd you do that? It's because I had this super devil juice, which is the flask. Let me see that. When he did, I do like Ellen Cleghorn's line. And that's some straight up David Copperfield shit. Grape. He's good. My last one, grape one. It's warm though. It wasn't warm when I got it. It was weird. I still got like the cinnamon from the Pop-Tarts I did, which you don't know what that is because I haven't put it up yet. Although by now it should be up. But yeah, so Cassie's in there now. And I think this is because they needed a way. Like Adrian is the ultimate bad guy, so he's the ultimate villain. He's the the end villain. He's the final boss. That's the word I'm trying to get. So that's it. And I guess this part always throws me off, but Nicky dies and goes back to hell to get advice, seek advice from his dad, who's really falling apart. And then he says, meet me at Grand Central Station at noon. And so John and Peter betray Nicky, or so it seems, to a Michael McKean cameo, which is Adrian inside of Chief Michael McKean's body. Yeah. There's also a priest played by Louis Arquette, which is interesting because his daughter, Patricia Arquette's in this. And the mayor, whose actor I don't know, I'm sorry, but there's a whole sermon where they're corrupting people because they want to kill humankind, but they corrupt humankind first, and then kill them so they'll all go to hell. But it won't work. It won't work. I just realized that. Their plan's not going to work. Because the gates of hell are closed because they went through them. Well, I guess ultimately, since Adrian sat on the throne, I guess they're opening in. Maybe? I don't know. But before that, the plan wouldn't have worked. But anyway. Here's one. When Nicky goes to see Valerie, we see a cross-dresser played by Clint Howard. Twice. 3 times, because it goes up, he's like, oh, you're looking for Valerie, she's up there, he goes up. And then when he floats up, he goes to that window again, he goes, you got the wrong window again, pal. Oh. And then at the ceremony thing, when Adrian is in Central Park and being the devil or whatever, you see him again. Yeah, so, yeah, it seems like John and Peter have betrayed Nicky, but it turns out Nicky is possessing John, I guess. And so he's not, like, let me ask you a question. Wouldn't it have worked better if, like, if you really think about it, did Nicky have to be in John's body? Like, couldn't he have just been around just in case something went wrong? Because the whole idea is that they pretend that peppermint schnapps in the flask when a quote-unquote homeless person is actually Patricia Arquette walks by, and then he's supposed to go to drink it and go inside. I don't know. They both end up dead and back in hell. Well, they should die. They both die, hit by a train, I think, during the fight. And Adrian ends up in hell, but Nicky ends up in heaven, where we meet his mother, Holly, who is an angel, played by Reese Witherspoon. I don't know. And she's a very valley girl. And we see a cameo from Carl Weathers playing Chubbs from Happy Gilmore. It's all in the hips. It's all in the hips. So this takes place, same continuity as that movie. you can say that most of episodes of this movie take place in the same continuity. You know, you say this, Waterboy and Happy Gilmore are all in the same movie because of Chubbs is the connector for Happy Gilmore, right? And the Waterboy as a "you can do it" guy. And you could also put the longest yard in there because I believe the guy that the character that Rob Schneider plays in that movie is the same guy. He has the same accent, sort of. Come on, you can do it. Go plug in the shower tonight. I think that's the same character. So I don't know. Those 4 films are at least connected, I think. But yeah, I don't know. The end. I don't know where I was going. Sorry. Lost it. I lost it. I blew it. You blew it! So it's a shutdown. He goes back to Earth. He recruits the demons that Adrian control to help him with Popeye's chicken. And so eventually it's a showdown. They all end up in the flask. Which, okay. So, I'm confused. I was under the impression that Nicky couldn't get taken in by the flask. Because there's so many times she pretends to, you know. Like when he's tricking Cassius, he has it up to his lips. So why did he get sucked in? And then Adrian's like, come on, go to the flask. It was like, I'm like, no, it wouldn't work. And then they both get sucked in. I'm like, wait, what? No. That was close enough earlier. He would have gotten sucked in. That's not. No. And this big epic fight between the 3 brothers is off screen. It's just that budget much. And then what appears to be Nicky comes out. It turns out it's Adrian turned into Nicky. When could he turn himself into things? I thought he could only possess people. But apparently he can turn in. I guess now that he's the devil, he could do that. I guess. But Nicky's able to come out thanks to the power of good. Uses this ball sphere thing. Adrian turns into a bat, and he uses this ball sphere thing. Nicky does to bring Ozzy Osbourne. Bites his head off, spits it in the flask. Nicky goes back down to hell, saves the day, but then decides to go back up. Devil says he's still in love with Holly, but apparently it doesn't end up working out. And yeah, happily ever after. Yes. So we get some after credit, like, you know, music with pictures, and this is what happened to our characters. So Nicky and Patricia Arquette, they got married, and they had a baby who was quarter angel, quarter demon, and rest human, I guess. But breathes fire and stuff. Mr. Beefy got together with his ex, who was a sewer rat, and they had ugly children. The roommate ended up with Clint Howard. And John and Peter got Led Zeppelin's tour plane, stocked it up with beer and brownies and stuff, but didn't have a pilot, so it crashed. If it didn't have a pilot, it wouldn't take off. But they crashed, and now they're in hell. They're rocking out in Nicky's old room, apparently. So, yeah, I'll give it a middle of the road. It's not, like, top tier Adam Sandler for me. It's in the top 10, but it's in the lower echelon, like a 9 to 5, or 9 to 6 echelon, maybe like number 8 or so. But I enjoy it, but I don't get to hate for it at all. Certainly I can understand maybe, you know, not slamming the doors, but also not liking the voice that he's putting on, you know. But I never hated it. I always thought it was funny, you know, for a movie. So, yeah. So what are your thoughts on Little Nicky? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Miss Scotty. Bye. Thanks, Jeff, for watching. I don't know.